Let's see, did you know Rush's whole backstory when you wrote Falling Too Far, or did it not really come to you until you decided to write a book for him?
I knew it all along. I have to know the backstories for my characters, even if they don't have a voice, so that I understand why they're acting the way that they're acting. Because if they're acting a specific way, I need to know why they're acting that way. And so I've always known Rush's backstory.
Cool. Did you know you were always going to write it, or it just became...
No, it was in my head. Yeah,
so much.
It was in my head. I didn't think I would ever write it because I do not like writing books, the same book twice.
But yeah, I didn't think it was the same book.
Because I don't like writing the same book twice. That's why I didn't think it was. It normally takes me 7 days to write a book. That took me a month because I was determined not to make it boring and to give people fresh new material. And that was hard when you're telling the same story and trying to make it new. But I worked really hard on it.
It was fantastic.
I don't like reading the same book twice. So
it really was fantastic.
Thank you. I'm glad that I pulled it off because I was worried about that. But,
well, it's so funny because like most of the people that love you, they all wanted to hit all the books from his perspective. And I was like, I went back and I was looking, I was like, they do have his perspective in it, but it just felt so different when it was a book.
Just his. I think they're wanting just his, but I'm not going to do that for one. I don't have time.
I don't blame you.
When the reviews get to 1,000 on Amazon, I am going to give the most favorite scenes that are told in Blair's point of view from Never and Forever. I'm just going to write them, give them free on my blog, but I'm not going to sell them. I'm just going to, just stick them on my blog.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's free content, just because they're begging for it, and I know half the book's already in its point of view, so
I know.
So when I was reading Rush Too Far, I kind of have to say, you feel like you can't hate Nan quite as much, which I'm sure is what you were going for. So is she going to eventually are we going to eventually just be able to say, okay, we want her to have a happy ever after.
We don't want to be a Nan hater anymore.
And one more chance.
You're slowly chipping that away.
I think in one more chance that there will be changes in people's feelings toward her, not completely, but there's a moment of redemption for her. It's a brief moment. She's right back to me. There's children walking by. But I think that you get a chapter in her point of view. That's going to help in one more chance. I keep telling people, and I said I wasn't going to tell anybody, but I'm telling people. There is a chapter of Nan's in One More Chance, and you get to get in her head, and she knows she's the way she is. She's not stupid. She knows people don't like her. She's well aware of the fact that, So, she does. And she's right back to her ugly self, but after that moment, and you kind of see a moment of humanity in her, she's not completely evil. You think, okay, God, what won't you change? But I have several books to do, and if she gets one, it will be the last book in the series. So I have many, many books to fix her a little bit to where you actually care about if she has. Yeah, and if I do that, then it will be the last book. I'm not sold on it yet. Neither is my publisher. So we'll see.
Well, she's such a big,
she's such a huge part in every story.
She
of
is.
The drama,
She is. Well, Mace's books, she's not a big part, and neither are Tripp's. Okay. She's there, but she wasn't really part of their, issues. So, she's there, but she's not so much of an issue.
So will we ever know, will she ever come around to liking Blair? Will we ever know that?
I don't know.
Because you don't know.
I don't know right now. I'm torn.
I was just curious.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided.
Yeah. Did Rush, I don't know, did he have suspicions about Grant and Nan, or did it come as a surprise?
Rush was the only one that was in the dark.
Yeah.
Everyone else knew. I think you get that, isn't it? In Twisted, it's in Twisted Perfection, right?
Yeah.
Where I've written so many books since then. Was it
Where they
Woods?
sorta,
It's Woods that called him out on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I knew one of them
like
called him out of it. Yeah.
From
and
him.
They know, but Rush never knew. It blindsided him when he heard it. He was just like, "What?"
Yeah,
he
didn't really get to hear what does Rush think.
Yeah, Rush always
take a chance.
When you read the first of Rush Too Far, he even says they're always at each other's throat. And he never imagined that.
Right.
So I think Rush was the only person that didn't know.
Okay. If you were picking a favorite book boyfriend from your own book, even though I know it's like saying you have a favorite child, you don't really have a favorite child, but who would it be?
It was Woods, but I've changed to Dwayne. Dwayne's taken the spot. I've written Dwayne for 9 books now. He's been in every book of the series.
And so he's sort of like your...
When I wrote his book, so much fun. Getting to write his book, and when you hear his story and you actually hear why he is the way he is in this snarky smart aleck, and you see where he gets it, it's just you can't not love him. He's I normally have your, your smart alecks, I have your bad boys, I have your good guys. He's like a conglomeration of all of them, and he pulls it off. So he has definitely won. It was Woods up until that moment.
Because it's like most of your fans out here, it's Rush. I mean, like everybody we talk to, they couldn't even think of any of the other
I personally like Bo.
Okay, well, Bo is my favorite to write. But and I loved him for a very long time, but I haven't written him or actually spent time in his world in so long. He's kind of faded away in my memory.
He was one of your first.
He was my first, and I think that's why I loved him for so long. He was my first.
Of course.
I mean, Jax was my first. He was my second. So
Yeah.
Okay, so what's planned after you finish Rosemary? Will there be like a whole nother?
That's probably her surprise she can't talk about.
Rosemary, I don't know when that'll be over. Actually, I do have a new series that is coming with Simon Pultz because I'm ending Seabreeze. Seabreeze will get Dwayne's book. They get one last book that has a novella for each couple, and it's done. The book will end the Seabreeze series. It's done over.
And it's like a bunch of novellas.
Each couple gets a novella to wrap it up in that book.
Okay.
And then after that, after we're done with that, I will have a new series that is set in the college world. I've always written college age people, but they've never really been in the college world. And a lot of the guys have always been older. These will all be in the college. It was be a college type setting. I wrote a book that I never finished. There was a chapter, I think the prologue, and I think that was it. And it was shared on a blog about a year and a half ago. And it's called Every Memory. Everybody kept wondering if I was going to finish it. Well, Every Memory, the title would be changed, but it's the same book, and it will be the kickoff to this new series.
Awesome.
Sounds really cool.
Yeah, we're excited.
It's different because I need something different.
Yeah.
I'm tired of writing beach towns.
Well, your little paranormal thing you did was pretty good too.
Yeah, I will go back to that when paranormal starts selling well again. Yeah, it's not its thing right now. Right now,
This is the big thing.
This is the big thing, and it will not last forever.
That's true.
Everything changes, and we'll do something different next. And when it does, I'll write as long as it's romance, I'll write it. We'll go whatever vein they're going in, I'll write it. So.
You're an excellent writer.
Yes, you are.
Final question.
Okay.
I know you're busy writing all the time, but are you reading anything? And what was the last book you read?
Ugly Love.
Ugly Love.
Oh, we're so jealous.
I typically read books that aren't out yet, is the way that works.
Yeah.
Kay and Lindy's book, Off the Record, I wouldn't read it, and she gave it to me last weekend, and I said, I'm not reading it because I'm a hypocrite and I don't read cliffhangers. And so she laughed, and she gave it to me anyway, and then the next day I checked my email, and she had emailed me On the Record, and she said, now read my book, here's your sequel.
Oh, yay! I love it.
I'll read that now, but that's the only time I won't read a book early, because if I know it's cliffhanger, don't give me that book, I'm not reading that.
Yeah.
I know, I don't do that. I can't do that. I'll be thinking about it instead of writing my own books. I know that's hypocritical because I do it, but yeah.
That's okay. We understand.
Yes.
We understand.
Anyway.
Well,